Welcome back. My name is Teresa and I'm very much alive. Hi, how are you? I'm recording this in the morning, so my voice is very
sensual right now.
And I'm loving it. Okay, hi. If you have never been here, wait, that's not how my intro goes. I have an awful garbage filthy mouth where sometimes, just sometimes, but all the time, I tend to use the word fuck as a comma. If you're not into that or weird stuff in general, this is definitely not the place for you. Feel free to exit out the video here. No harm, no foul. But I'll remember our time fondly. Y'all, I'm excited. Baby air horns because, again, it's early and I want to be a good neighbor. We're going to be reviewing the Pat Mcgrath Blush Divine Collection. Divine Blush Collection, whatever. Blush Divine, Divine Blush, you know what it is. I put it in the title. Now, I got a fair amount of items from this collection. No, I didn't get any of the lip products because I'll be honest with you, the component is such a pain to store. I was like, no fam, not about that life. Although the colors were pretty. Shit, I should have got something. Whatever, anyway, I didn't get that. But what I did get was the quad, the highlighter, and 4 blushes. I know. Listen, it all happened so quickly, okay? In any case, let's start with the eyeshadow palette first.
Venus and Fleur's Luxe Quad Voyeuristic Vixen. This quad retails for $58. The silk and powder formula glides on, imparting a petal soft, even layer of intensely saturated color in a single swipe. This captivating quartet was designed to satisfy your most dazzling daydreams, ranging from fetish-worthy artistry to everyday erotic enhancement.
Okay, first of all, that was so much fun to read. That was one. There was also another blurb to it, but the words were really complicated, and again, it's really early in the morning, and I'm like, do I really want to be here for 25 minutes trying to say the same word over and over again?
No.
With that said, this little puppy retails for a whopping of $58.
Ooh.
The packaging is very similar to the larger Mothership palettes, except in a teeny tiny form. In a way, I like this packaging, but also I don't like it. Because I feel like when there are quads that are limited edition, kind of wish the packaging was a limited edition as well. This was the actual packaging for the quad. I almost wish that this was this. I think it would have been so much prettier, but whatever, I'll shut the fuck up. I do like this product is hefty, so unlike the MAC collection that was released with Harris Reed, which I adore the artwork, it was plastic as fuck and I hated it. This definitely has some weight to it, so if I do throw it at somebody, it could hurt them, and that's what we want in an eyeshadow palette. Not only good quality, but coma worthy as well. When you open her up, you get a nice size mirror here, and you get your 4 shades. Now, being that this palette only has 4 shades, I might as well break it down by shade. And it's also $58 fucking. So starting with up here, Moonlight Liaison. This is a peachy pink shimmer shade. This is not only beautiful on the lid, but it makes for a killer inner corner highlight. This paired with Twilight Bronze, which is the shade diagonal to it, makes a really beautiful gradient. I didn't experience any irritation and I applied it with glitter glue. And for the most part, there was barely any fallout. And I'm happy to say that even when layering the shadows, it didn't create any weird funky texture. So no wrinkly ball sacks here. The next shade is Rose Nectar Fire, which if you look in the mirror, you can see there's a little shift here. And at first I thought it was a multi-chrome and I was like, then I realized it was a duochrome and I was like, oh, okay. I kind of felt like I was catfished a little bit, but whatever. This is like a reddish copper shade mixed with the dirty gold. It has a very interesting shift. And the shadow texture is very different from the other shimmers in this palette. There is a chunky glitter to it. And there is a fair amount of glitter bukkake. Tinkerbell definitely shit on my face this morning. The glitter chunks are not the same as, say, like a pressed glitter, but they are a decent size because you can see the large flecks of glitter in the formula. When I applied it with glitter glue and used the brush, I found that the shade couldn't spread evenly on the lid, so I needed to lightly finger myself to adhere to the eye. And then when you finger yourself, unfortunately it gets very messy. I'm a child. But once the eyeshadow was evenly dispersed, it's very pretty. But I noticed that there are just specks of glitter fucking falling all over my face. I think the biggest negative about this shade is that the glitter bukkake is not really easy to clean. I kind of feel like you really should do your eye look first and then your base because it's not going to be as bad, but the glitter fucking sticks to your face and it's impossible to remove without scrubbing at least 7 layers of your skin off. I'm happy to say that the longevity overall is really good. Yes, there is some flaking throughout the day, but thankfully this glitter, unlike the Divine Rose 1, I didn't experience any sort of irritation with it. So even though it did get in my eye quite a few times, it wasn't bad at all. As a duochrome, while it is a pretty shift, it's not my favorite formula. I prefer my shadows not to be so flaky like a puff pastry. I am more of a liquid metal sex boy, so this was like, like it's pretty, like it's what I have on my eyes today, but I just wish the formula was smoother. The multi-chrome is so good, and I wish it had a similar formula to this. But if you do like glitters and you like pressed glitters, rest assured that this bitch is glittery. The next shade is After Dusk, and this is a reddish brown matte shade, and this is the only matte in the whole palette. What I like about the brand's matte shades is that they are incredibly easy to use. They're pigmented and incredibly easy to blend. I use this shade primarily as a crease shade and an outer corner shade. Now, because it's so pigmented, when you first apply it on your face, it's like, bam, motherfucking pigment. So you really have to like blend it out to get a softer look, but it is achievable. There was little to no kick up or fallout when using this shade. However, my biggest complaint is the longevity. On me, for whatever reason, it starts to bald after a couple of hours. And I notice it, especially if I pack the shade on in the outer corner, about 3 or 4 hours in, I'll have a nice little bald spot. So that's the only thing, is like it's a pretty shade, but longevity wise, it sucks. I did use some other eyeshadow bases as well. Keep in mind, I'm very picky when it comes to eyeshadow primer. Most of the time I find that it doesn't really work for me. So I stick to the things that I know work for my eyes, which is usually NARS Soft Matte Creamy Concealer, Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas Base, or the MAC Paint Pot. And when using each one of those products, I still experience the same balding and lifting after a few hours. So I don't know, maybe it just doesn't like my fucking face. Maybe the shadow is just too good for me. It is what it is. The last shade is Twilight Bronze, which again is a sky right over here. And my experience with the shade is very similar to Moonlight Liaison. It applied beautifully with glitter glue, had great longevity, and I really loved how they paired well together. I would say probably the biggest difference though is that Twilight Bronze is a little bit chunkier than Moonlight Liaison, just a smidge, so you might get a little bit of fallout, but overall still very, very smooth. Overall, I found this palette quite interesting and different from other quads this brand has released. With that said, the variety of looks you can create with this palette I feel like is very limited. This is a companion piece at the end of the day, a $58 companion piece, but a companion piece nonetheless. Other than the longevity issue I had with After Dusk and the great glitter bukkake explosion of the Rose Fire Nectar, I found these shades to be pigmented, easy to use, and easy to blend. The quality is very consistent with other palettes that I own from this brand. I do like that this is not like a typical matte shimmer palette. I like the addition of the duochrome, and while it may not be my favorite duochrome formula, I like that the brand is including something different. It's not just the same like matte shimmer, metallic, matte shimmer. You know what I mean? Like it's something a little bit different. Now, do you need it? Meh. I don't personally think this is a palette you need to have. While this is a very lovely palette, I think for the price point, if you've always wanted to purchase something from Mcgrath, I say like save your money and purchase one of the bigger palettes. I think that would be a better value. Also, I totally highly recommend getting it when there are Sephora sales, or as of late, Mcgrath has been doing a lot of cool sales. I recommend picking it up then. But if you do want it, rest assured that you are getting a good product.
Skin Finish Divine Glow Highlighter retails for $48. Turn your complexion on with dazzling divinity. This high-polished pressed gold highlighter combines skin-loving botanical oils with multi-tone micro pearls. Molten luminosity blends seamlessly into skin for a smooth with an ultra-reflective finish and imperceptible silken feel. The luxe satiny powder instantly imbues everything it touches, ranging from cheekbones to décolletage with glided glass-like luster and solar flare shine.
If that is not the most ridiculous description for a highlighter I've ever read, I'm confused but ultimately turned on at the same time. Anyway, so this bad boy retails for a whopping $48 motherfucking dollars, and it comes in the same packaging as the blushes, which will be the last thing on our agenda today. And again, with the packaging, you know, if I compare it to the palette, I like the palette's packaging more, but for this stuff, these are kind of a pain in the ass. I really don't like it. I don't like how plain they are. I don't know, like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. You're probably saying, well, what do you expect to be on there? A clown? A whale? a hot dog holding some sparklers. I don't know, just something fucking different than this kind of packaging, which by the way, as soon as you touch it, just looks like shit. I have tried to wipe this off so many times and it looks like shit every time. And that's what I hate, because you're spending $50 on a fucking highlighter. This shit should be pristine and perfection. Instead, I'm seeing the Cheetos I ate yesterday. I hate that for me. But you know what? Who cares? At the end of the day, we need to know if this bitch is an alien slut highlighter or not. Now keep in mind, this is the first time I've ever tried a highlighter from this brand, so I had no expectations. But bitch, fuck me sideways, this shit is beautiful. And it makes me so motherfucking mad because this is too dark for me. I hate that it's too dark for me. I hate it. But you know what? It's fine. I'll just shut up about it. It is what it is. This will make other people happy. Okay, I know it will. The formula is solid. With one swipe of the brush, it's beyond pigmented. And I mean that in the best way possible. This highlighter does not contain any glitter. It doesn't emphasize any weird texture on your skin. This highlighter is perfection. This is the kind of highlighter that instantly melts into your skin without needing to buff it in. Instead of having just like a fucking stripe of shit on your face, it's just, she's just perfect. She is the fifth element, okay? She is a supreme being. The product's incredibly easy to use, has great longevity, yada, yada, yada. This is fucking fabulous. It's just too dark for me. And it makes me sad. Because even when I went in with a really, really light hand, I was like, yeah, no. And of course, you're probably gonna be like, no, the highlighter looks great. And yeah, it looks great under studio lighting, but I can't walk around my life with studio lighting around me. I'm trying to figure out like ways to make it work. So I'm like, well, maybe if I just got darker foundation, it would be fine. But then, that's stupid. I shouldn't have to do that. Oh my God. First world problems, am I right? I will say though, on its own, it's very noticeable that it is too dark, but when draped with blush and bronzer, like, I think I can get away with it. No, I really can't. I'm trying to convince myself that I can, but I really can't. Like, you can easily tell that it just doesn't, it's just a little too dark for me. In any case, I hope in the future this brand does release this highlighter in a lighter color, but keeping the same formula, because this formula is fantastic. If you are somebody that is definitely light medium, this will definitely work for you. If you are uncooked chicken like myself, not so much. Don't even bother. Don't make the same mistake I did. Now, do you need it? I think regarding luxury highlighters, I feel like there are just a few that are just like, yes, regardless of price tag, it's a got to have item. Like for me, that would be Burberry. Those motherfuckers are $68 and worth every motherfucking penny. They are. This one being at $48 is, you know, ridiculous as well, but I think it's worth it. Listen, it's worth it. It's like a really sexy upscale alien slut. I love it. And I just hate the color is just not right for me. I'm gonna go sulk in the corner. I'll be right back.
Skin Fetish Divine Blush retails for $38. Layerable, luxurious, legendary, blush like an icon. Pat's most requested launch ever, the instantly indispensable Divine Blush creates a featherweight, long-wearing rush of couture color in demi-matte and satin finishes. Ultrafine powder pigments deliver sensually soft, brilliant, blendable application. All 9 shades build effortlessly from sheer to subversive, bare to bold to beyond, ensuring the wondrous wash of customizable color tailored to every skin tone and type, embossed with radiant roses and sublime sun rays. This new classic is the answer to the eternal question, who makes you blush?
See, I know you're probably asking, well, what makes you blush? Usually I start blushing when I think of awkward sexual encounters I had in my 20s. Always makes me blush and feel really uncomfortable. Okay, each blush retails for $38, comes in 2 different finishes, like I mentioned, a demi-matte and a satin finish. Now, I got the first 4 lightest shades. So 3 of them are satin and 1 of them is a demi-matte. And with that said, you know, again, same thing like I said about the highlighter. The packaging is it's not my favorite because I have to constantly look at the back of it to see which exactly blush it is. And the type, this is probably just a me being old thing, but the type is so fucking tiny that I'm like, what does this say? Every fucking time I pick these blushes up. But regardless, besides having my gross fingerprints all over it, this is what she looks like. It's absolutely stunning. I love the pan embossing. I think it's beautiful. I love that you do get a mirror in it. So without without further ado, since I got 4 of these little monsters, let me break it down by shade. Flirtatious is a soft beige pink demi-matte. This bitch is pigmented. I was almost expecting this blush to be incredibly light. I find that with most higher end blushes, they have more of like a watercolor effect. They're usually softer in pigment, but buildable. So if you do want to look like a Campbell's Soup kid, you fucking can, but it's just gonna take you a little bit more time to do so. That being said, I was like, holy shit, bitch, this is pigmented. If you do put on too much though, I will say it's harder to come back from. So I found myself having to go over the blush with the Chantecaille blurring powder just to soften it up. It does blend out, but it just maintains its rich pigments. So you definitely need like a light finishing powder just to make sure that it looks a little bit more tame. Of course, if you want it to be vivid, bitch, fucking vivid it up. Vivid it up. That literally made no sense. If you want it to be more vivid, vivid it up. I didn't have my coffee today. Anyway, at the end of the day, the blush does blend well, but I would recommend going in with a lighter hand if you don't want it to be so pigmented. And this product has a great longevity. I was out and about in the city yesterday. I know, no fun story times. Everybody was normal. It was strange, actually. I felt like I was on a different planet, except people just had masks on. It was strange, but whatever. It was about like 80 something degrees yesterday, and even being like in and out and being in an office that was stuffy with literally no air conditioning, my makeup stayed intact and the blush looked amazing at the end of the day. After 12 hours of wear, the shit still looks solid. Now the next shade is Nude Venus, and this is described as a peachy pink with a golden pearl necklace. I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. This blush has a satin finish. This is a very pretty color, and I loved how luminous my cheeks looked. Again, much like Flirtatious. Again, much like Flirtatious. I don't have a lisp. I just talk way too fast and my words get mumbled and jumbled. Because sometimes even when I'm editing and it sounds like I'm like, I don't have a fucking lisp. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I just know I don't have one. I just talk way too fucking fast and my words get jumbled up. Flirtatious. Okay. These fucking names, Pat. These names. All right. Much like Flirtatious, if you go in with a lighter hand, you can build up to your desired coverage. I think I actually prefer the satin finish over the demi matte. And for me, it's because I like that extra little pop on the cheeks. I'm a highlighter slut, okay? I want to be glowing from the motherfucking gods. So if I can get another product that has a little bit more sparkle to it, bitch, I'm gonna take it, all right? So that's why I prefer more of the satin blush finish. The next shade is Desert Orchid. And this is described as a bronze rose with a golden pearl necklace. And this one too is in a satin finish. Again, pearl necklace joke is never gonna get old, so be prepared to hear it one more time. This is why you come to this channel. Not to know about makeup, to hear all the gross references to things. I really absolutely love the color of this blush. Again, it's just incredibly pigmented, so you have to be careful with how much product you do pick up. But what I love about this shade is that there's a little bit of like warmth, I guess like a brown tone to it. So I feel like this shade, in a way, you could just get away with just wearing it on its own. If you're looking for a product that could potentially have a little bit of like a bronzing moment, this is probably the best blush to get. It's the kind of product where I feel like you don't really need a bronzer underneath if you want a little bit of warmth, because there's a lot of warmth in the shade that it looks like you have blush and bronzer on. It's really, really beautiful. And I feel like it's something unique to my collection. And the last shade is Nymphet. And this is described as a soft pink with a golden pearl necklace. Again, satin finish. This one also had a lovely color. And again, very pigmented, so go in with a light hand. I have to say, with all the blushes, whether it was a satin or a demi-matte finish, they all operated very much the same. So I'm very, very pleased about that. These boys are incredibly pigmented. So much so that it can be a pain in the ass if you do pick up too much product. In contrast, this product does blend very well if you do use it sparingly. So it kind of depends on how you like to wear your blush. I am not a blush shamer, so if you like to go heavy-handed, that's great. If you want to go barely there, that's fine too. Overall, I found this formula applied very well to the skin. It's very smooth, it's not powdery, and has a great longevity. Again, like I mentioned before, my preference is the satin blush over the demi matte, just because I like a little bit more extra sparkle added to my face. And I really appreciate that with the satin blush, that there's no chunky glitter in it. It doesn't emphasize any weird texture or anything like that. It really does sit seamlessly into the skin. I want to say all these products really today all melt beautifully into the skin. And that's the one thing, when you're getting stuff from Pat Mcgrath, you're getting great quality. Now, do you need it? You know, here's the thing, like, I like it. I think they're very good, but when I think about my higher end blushes, I still feel like I gravitate towards Chanel or Chantecaille more. These are still very fucking good. These are awesome. But in hindsight, I think I probably could have picked up 1 or 2. I definitely didn't need the 4. I don't think I would really pick up any more of these in the future. Unless she comes out with a unique color that my makeup dick demands, I think I'm all set on these blushes. But if you are interested, I recommend getting 1 or 2. I don't think you really need the whole fucking collection. Because while the blush formula is really, really nice, it's just, I don't know, there's something about the Chanel blush that I think I like more and the Chantecaille blush that I like more. But if you are interested in getting this product, I do recommend waiting for it to go on sale because while they are really nice, I don't think you really need to rush out and get these right now. They're not revolutionary or life-changing by any means. They're a solid fucking product. They're really nice, but let's just say this. If my house burned down tomorrow and I were to think of things to repurchase from my makeup collection, I don't even think I would put this in the top 5. No. Like, they're nice, but like, get them on sale. But if you cannot wait, rest assured you are going to get a solid product. So just know that they're going to be good. It's just, you'll see what I mean. Just wait. These things are not going to be cooking you dinner anytime soon. Anyway, with that said, I want to hear from y'all. Let me know down below if you are interested in picking up anything from this collection, or if you have. Do you feel the same or do you feel differently? Am I wrong? Probably am. Let me know because I love hearing from you. And with that said, I want to say thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it as always. Feel free to like, comment, hit that subscribe button. It's free, and hit that bell icon for notification of all my future posts. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Patreon. To all my beautiful, wonderful patron bubbies, thank you so much for keeping this delicious, disgusting, filthy, glowy, blushy garbage boat afloat. I couldn't do without you. I love your adorable little delicious faces, and thank you for just being the best. I love you forever and ever and ever, ever and ever and ever, ever, ever. If you want to know what's currently on my face, along with where to get my podcast, which I know we're really behind in episodes, blame Alex and his job. Tell Alex in the comments to get his life together. I'm waiting on him. But if you want to know where to get my merch, my bloopity blop blop, all that blah blah blah, everything will be listed in the description box below. And I'll see you little peanut M&Ms later. Bye.